Funny story. The nervous passenger.
It was a bright afternoon when a young man named Ethan boarded a flight from New York to Chicago. He carried a small backpack, looked neat in his casual jeans and jacket, and seemed like just another ordinary traveler. He found his seat, 22A, right by the window. In the aisle seat sat a young woman named Sophie. She had her earbuds out, scrolling on her phone, looking calm and collected. They nodded politely at each other, just the usual airplane stranger acknowledgement. Nothing unusual. The plane filled up quickly. Babies cried, overhead bins slammed shut, and the flight attendants moved down the aisle with their perfect airline smiles. The engines roared, and soon enough the plane lifted into the sky. Smooth takeoff. No turbulence. Everything seemed perfectly fine. About 20 minutes after takeoff, Ethan unbuckled his seatbelt.
"Excuse me,"
He said softly, stepping past Sophie to reach into his backpack in the overhead bin. He pulled something out. Not snacks, not a book, not even a laptop. He pulled out a pair of old, bulky headphones. So far, so good. Pretty normal. But then Sophie noticed something strange. Ethan's hands trembled slightly as he put the headphones on. Beads of sweat formed on his forehead, even though the cabin temperature was cool. He wasn't just nervous. He was really nervous. He closed his eyes, muttered something under his breath, and folded his hands like he was praying. Sophie tilted her head.
Are you okay?
Ethan opened his eyes quickly, almost startled.
"Oh, yes, I'm fine."
But his leg bounced up and down, shaking the seat. He kept whispering,
"Please, please, please."
as if bargaining with the universe. Sophie gave him a cautious smile.
First time flying?
He laughed nervously.
"No, not at all. I've flown many, many times."
Really?
She said.
Because you look like someone who's either about to propose marriage or jump out of the plane.
Ethan tried to smile, but his eyes darted around the cabin like he was looking for emergency exits.
"No, I'm not afraid of flying,"
He said.
"I swear, it's not that."
Then what is it?
Sophie asked. He hesitated, his lips pressed together.
I really don't want to say."
Now you have to understand something about human psychology. The moment someone says, "I don't want to tell you," your brain flips a switch. You have to know. Sophie leaned a little closer.
Come on. You can't just say that and then stop talking. What's going on? Why are you so nervous?
Ethan shook his head.
"It's better if you don't know."
Oh, now I really want to know?
She teased. He wiped his forehead with the back of his hand. His voice dropped lower, almost a whisper.
"Promise me you won't tell anyone."
Sophie grinned.
Sure, I promise.
"No, seriously.
Ethan said.
You cannot tell another living soul what I'm about to say."
Sophie raised her right hand like a scout.
Fine. I swear, my lips are sealed.
Ethan leaned in, speaking so quietly she had to tilt her head to hear him.
"I'm a plane mechanic."
Sophie blinked.
That's it? That's the big secret? You're a mechanic?
"Yes,
He whispered.
I fix airplanes. I work in maintenance. I was actually working on this airplane."
Sophie laughed, relieved.
Well, then we're lucky. That means this is one of the safest flights ever, right?
Ethan didn't laugh. He swallowed hard. His eyes darted toward his backpack.
That's not exactly why I'm nervous.
Sophie frowned.
What do you mean?
Ethan hesitated for a long time, like someone deciding whether to cut the red wire or the blue wire in a movie. Finally, he whispered,
When I was working on this plane earlier today, I may have forgotten something.
Sophie's smile faded.
Forgot what?
Ethan looked her dead in the eye.
A part?
Her eyes widened.
A part?
Yes,
Ethan said, his voice cracked.
an important part.
Sophie tried to laugh it off.
Oh, like a tiny screw or something?
Ethan shook his head.
No, not tiny. Not at all. This one's, pretty critical.
Critical how?
Sophie asked. He leaned even closer.
It's for the landing.
Sophie froze.
The landing? Did you just say the landing?
Ethan nodded miserably.
Yes, the landing gear system. There's a component that controls it. And when I opened my bag just now, I found it inside.
He pointed down to his backpack.
It should be on the plane. But it's in here.
Sophie's mouth dropped open. She stared at him for a good 10 seconds, waiting for him to laugh, to wink, to say, "Just kidding." But he didn't. Instead, he wiped more sweat off his forehead and whispered another prayer. Sophie grabbed the armrest.
Wait, are you serious right now? You're telling me this entire airplane might not be able to land?
Ethan pressed his hands together, whispering again.
Please, please, please.
She shook his shoulder.
Hey, answer me. Are you joking?
Ethan gulped.
I really hope I'm joking.
At this point, Sophie's heart was racing. She looked around, wondering if she should call a flight attendant, press the emergency button, something. But then she noticed Ethan's face. There it was, the faintest smirk.
Wait a second.
She said slowly.
Are you messing with me?
Ethan suddenly burst out laughing. The passengers in the nearby rows turned their heads. Sophie's jaw dropped.
You're joking?
She shouted. Ethan wiped his tears of laughter.
Oh my God, you should have seen your face. I'm so sorry I couldn't resist. I do work as a mechanic, yes, but I did not forget a part. The plane is perfectly fine.
Sophie stared at him, half angry, half relieved.
You almost gave me a heart attack.
Ethan held up his hands defensively.
Hey, you made me promise to tell you the truth. And technically, I told you something true. I am a mechanic. I just added some dramatic effect.
Sophie shook her head.
That's the worst airplane joke I've ever heard.
Best?
Ethan corrected.
Definitely the best.
The rest of the flight, Sophie kept giving him side-eye, but eventually she laughed too. Every time the captain announced something, Ethan would lean over and whisper,
Don't worry, it's fine. Probably.
When the plane finally landed safely, Sophie turned to him and said,
See? Everything worked. You're a terrible liar.
Ethan smiled.
True. But at least I made the flight more memorable.
Sophie rolled her eyes.
Memorable? You almost made me write my will on a napkin.
They stood up, gathered their bags, and walked toward the exit together. Just before they parted ways, Ethan cleared his throat nervously again.
So, after all this, do you think I could maybe get your phone number?
Sophie stopped, folded her arms, and gave him that look.
You almost gave me a heart attack, and now you want my number?
Ethan shrugged with a grin.
Hey, I figured if we survived this flight together, that's basically a first date.
For a moment, Sophie just stared at him. Then slowly she laughed and shook her head.
Unbelievable.
But to Ethan's surprise, she pulled out a pen, scribbled her number on the corner of his boarding pass, and handed it back to him.
Don't make me regret this,
she said. Ethan grinned ear to ear.
Trust me, this time I won't forget anything.